Hello, I'm John. Welcome to my channel, Disquiet and Dragons. In today's video, we're going to be doing part 2 of my 100 favourite horror films. Hello, welcome to the second part of my 100 favourite horror films list. Today, we're going to be doing number 90 to 81, so I'll get straight on with it. And number 90 is a film called Wakewood. This is an Irish horror film, a folk horror, and it's about a couple and their daughter. It stars, I think his name's Aidan Gillen. He plays Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. He's wonderful in this film. And he's a vet, and his daughter is sees this German Shepherd in the yard to the veterinary service, and the dog just snaps and mauls her, and unfortunately the married couple, they lose their daughter, so they decide to move to a more rural location to deal with their grief. And while they live in this small village, they notice some of the locals doing quite strange rituals and practices, and they learn that with a certain ritual it's possible to bring a dead loved one back to life for 3 days. And the film, it goes on from there. Explores themes of grief and guilt and that kind of thing. Very atmospheric, very well acted, absolutely worth watching if folk horror's your thing, and that's Wakewood. At number 89, we have a brilliant slasher movie called Laid to Rest. This one has a character, the main killer. He's called Chrome Skull, and he's so menacing in this film. The film starts off with a woman, and she wakes up inside a coffin in this funeral home. She's got amnesia, doesn't know what's going on or who she is, and she wakes up and she's like phoning the police, but the phone breaks down, and then we get introduced to Chrome Skull. He's got this he's got a chrome skull. It's like a skull mask that's completely chrome. He's got a little video camera on his shoulder to film his kills, and he's absolutely vicious. He just starts stalking this woman that's just woke up, and she hasn't got a clue what's going on or why he's following her. And it just goes on from there. It's quite a typical slasher film, some very gory kills, but Chrome Skull, great character, great slasher movie. Highly recommend this one. Brilliant film. That's Chrome Skull, not Chrome Skull. Laid to Rest. At number 88, we have a film called A Dark Song. This one is it's kind of like folk horror, gothic horror, occult horror. If you like any of those kinds of things, you'll probably really enjoy this film. It's about a woman, and she loses her 7-year-old child, and racked with grief, she contacts an occultist who reluctantly agrees to help her perform this ritual that will summon the woman's guardian angel, who she can then command to let her talk to her deceased child. The ritual will last months and months and will be absolutely harrowing. She has to go through some horrific things during this ritual. She rents this. I think it's a country manor in Wales, and the occultist tells her that if she leaves or doesn't do any of the things he asks, the ritual will fail and there will be dire consequences for them both. And it explores, like Wakewood that I've mentioned, it explores grief and guilt, and also the relationship between the reluctant occultist and this woman who will do anything to speak to her child again. Definitely check content warnings on this one. There's some really quite nasty scenes here. It's not gory, but not distasteful, but Yeah, definitely check the content warnings. And that's A Dark Song. And at number 87, we have another Irish horror film, and this one is called In Fear. This one is about a young couple, and the guy in the relationship, he's been online and he's found this beautiful uh, bed and breakfast in out in the countryside, and they're driving towards it. I think they're going to stay at this bed and breakfast before they go to a music festival or something. Anyway, they're driving along, and they, no matter what, they just can't seem to find their way to this bed and breakfast. Um, they go down lanes and they think they're going the right way, and they just end up backtracking on themselves and ended up in the same location. Um, as time goes by, things start to get increasingly dangerous for them. Certain events happen. As night comes, the danger increases. The, the sense of dread this film instills in you is unbelievable. It's absolutely terrifying in parts. Um, it's a fantastic film, really well shot, some beautiful locations, uh, absolutely worth watching, and that's In Fear. Next film, number 86, is a extremely famous film based on a equally famous book, and that's Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary's Baby is about a married couple. The husband is an actor, and the wife, she falls pregnant. They move house, and they're in this beautiful apartment block, and things start getting strange for the woman as her pregnancy progresses. The neighbors start to take a real, almost too much interest in her pregnancy. She thinks her husband is acting a bit strange, and as she goes on, things do get really, really strange and odd. Fantastic film. Uh, the acting is and directing is absolutely brilliant. It creates a real sense of like claustrophobia and dread. Well worth watching. Absolute classic. Rosemary's Baby. And at number 85, it's another film based on a book, and this one is The Howling. This one is about, again, it's a husband and wife. The wife is a TV reporter, and she gets stalked by a serial killer, and she has a really traumatic encounter with said serial killer. So the couple's doctor suggests that they go to his like retreat out on the coast. So they move to this retreat for a couple of weeks, and they hear howling at night, and it goes on from there. One of the best werewolf films out there, fantastic werewolf film. I do prefer the book, which is why this film is a bit lower on my list compared to other werewolf films. But the special effects, practical effects, absolutely brilliant. Uh, well worth watching if you like werewolf films. It's got that real 80s look to the lighting, and it's really atmospheric because of it. And that's The Howling. At number 84, we've got a hat trick of films based on books, and this one is Rawhead Rex. The book was written by Clive Barker, and it's about a an American gentleman he's like a religious researcher, and he takes his family on holiday to Ireland. It's kind of a working holiday for him, and he's going around all these churches looking for religious artifacts. He's in this one church in this small village, and there's a storm. And in a local field, there's this strange stone in the field, and a lightning strike hits it, which wakes the monster, Rawhead Rex, who then goes on a rampage through this small village and just goes on a killing spree. Um, it's very much of its time with regards to the effects. The practical effects and the creature costume are great. I absolutely love them, but some of the special effects are a bit, they're not. If you can look past them, it's a fantastic film. The story is great, but like the monsters got these little LED light up lights, and it just looks kind of goofy. But if you can get past that, brilliant, brilliant film. Absolutely love it, and that's Rawhead Rex. Number 83, we have a Japanese ghost story, and this one is Dark Water. This one is about a woman and her daughter, and they're going through the woman is going through quite a messy divorce. So she's trying to rebuild their lives back, and she finds this small apartment. They move in. She finds like a preschool for her daughter to attend. She gets a new job as a proofreader at a small publishing company. But as they're rebuilding their lives, the woman starts noticing strange things in this apartment block that they're living in. She starts finding this little red bag all over the place, and no matter how many times she throws it away, it always seems to find its way back. She also, as she's going down in the lift, she keeps catching glimpses of this long-haired little girl, and from there on, the supernatural elements of the film just ramp up, creating this sense of terror and dread that it's definitely one of the scariest ghost films I've seen. Um, there's some jump scares in it. It doesn't rely totally on jump scares, but it like builds and builds. It's quite a slow burn film, and then when the jump scare happens, it it's just all the more effective for it. Absolutely fantastic film. Again, like a lot of these films on the list, it's really atmospheric. It's quite grim, and it's a very bleak film. But if that sounds like your kind of thing, if you like slow burn horror, absolutely fantastic, well worth a watch. That's Dark Water. And after quite a few bleak, dark films, at number 82, we've got something that's a bit more fun, a bit more action packed. And that's a film called Exists. Uh, this one, it's another one of my favourite horror subgenres. And until about 10 years ago, I didn't even know it was a subgenre. And that's Bigfoot attack movies. Absolutely love them. They're so much fun. And this one's my favourite one. It's done in found footage style, which might turn some people off, but I really enjoy found footage, so not a problem for me, which is why it's got on my list. This is about a group of friends, and they go away for the weekend to stay in this cabin out in the woods. And as they're driving along, this shape just runs out in front of them, and they can't avoid but hit it. They think it's like a deer or something, and they get out of the car to look at it, and they find it's like a little baby Bigfoot. So they go to the cabin, and they have to like park the car, and then it's like a hike to the cabin, and they get there, and their cabin is just besieged by this Bigfoot on a revenge mission. Uh, as most found footage, lots of jump scares. It's a bit of shaky cam here and there, but nothing too egregious. If you like found footage and you haven't seen this one, you'll probably find something to enjoy. If you like creature features, you'll definitely find something to enjoy because it's just a really good, fun film, and that is Exists. And at number 81, the last film on this video, is another found footage film and one of the most terrifying films that I've ever seen, and that is Rec. Rec is a Spanish found footage film, and we follow a TV reporter and her cameraman, and they're accompanying the fire brigade on a night. I think it's set in Barcelona. Anyway, they get a call, and they go to this building, and this building's kind of like is shut down, and nobody knows why it's shut down. So they go into this apartment block, this block of flats, and they're investigating it. and some of the people, the residents in this building, they're acting strangely. There's something really not right with them. Um, anyway, when the reporter and a cameraman try to get out, they find that they've been locked in this building, and the film goes on from there. How they try to get out and how they deal with the situation. This film, the final 10 minutes are possibly the most. There's one scene. If you've seen it, you'll know what scene I'm talking about, and your heart is in your mouth. And while you're watching this, you're so tense, and it's one of the scariest scenes I've ever seen in a horror film. Definitely worth watching. One of the better found footage films out there, and that is Wreck. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this list of horror films from 90 to 81. If you've seen any of these films, let me know in the comments what you thought of them. If you've got your own list of 100 favourite horror films, I'd love to find out what your favourites are. As always, thank you for watching, subscribing, and commenting. I really do enjoy talking to all of you in the comments. I hope you're enjoying what you're reading. Hope you're all doing well. So until next time, take care. Cheers. Bye.